This is Mike Ward with Live Explore Real Estate. I'm here with Jerre Hernandez from Golden State Lumber, and this is the Ward Report. There's a 90% chance your soon-to-be baby's first word will be this four-letter word. Woo! True or false?
True.
True.
100%.
100%.
fact.
All right, number two. The legitimacy of any Mexican restaurant can be determined by these three components: their mole, their tostada selection, and their salsa. True or false? In your opinion. It's a hard one.
I just actually started eating tostadas at one of my favorite spots in Sonoma.
El Molino.
Yes.
Delicious.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I think mole is very specific. So I'm going to say false.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you put in there for the three?
Burritos.
Okay. Going with the classic.
Yeah. Al Pastor tacos specifically.
All right, that's my number one taco.
And I'll go with you on tostadas.
Who's the best pastor in your opinion?
I think Elroy's.
You like Elroy's?
Yeah. I think Elroy's for sure. I found this spot in Santa Rosa, this truck called Delicia Elenitas.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've actually gone there the last 2 weekends.
Yeah.
And
just keep going back, bro.
Yeah.
Once you find a spot,
it's all for the tacos.
It's blown up. Yeah.
So their carne asada tacos and their al pastor tacos are really, really good.
There's a place up in Santa Rosa we hit, and I'm going to space on the name, but it's on the corner. It's on Piner. They have two restaurants. It's right on that busy intersection corner by the CVS. And they have the pastor, literally the rotating.
Yeah, the rotating.
I mean, it marinates through the meat.
When you see that,
done.
You got to make some room.
Double the order.
Yeah.
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 Last question for true and false. If you had a chance to roll, this could be a hard one, but I'm really interested in this answer. If you had a chance to roll with Gordon Ryan for $1 million, which you would only win if you lasted 25 seconds or more, would you win that money? And you can't run away. You have to engage immediately. 25 seconds, $1 million, no tap out. Would you win or would you not?
Probably not.
Oh,
Gordon Ryan is on a different level. I mean, I guess I would just try to like outside pass him, but you just try to time it right. But yeah, I'm about to be 45 and I'm slow, and that guy is just a specimen.
More trend than anything going through his body.
That guy is just a specimen.
Unbelievable. So. All right, we'll get a little bit more into jiu-jitsu because I'm interested in that path in your life as well. So bonus questions. You're shipwrecked on an island with a record player powered by the sun. You get one vinyl record for eternity. What would that album be?
Now, this is like a movie soundtrack or just
anything, any album, any band. You only get one. You have to listen to it forever. That's a hard question.
That is a very hard question. Gosh, I'm not sure. I'll just say like a movie soundtrack. Let's go with Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid movie soundtrack.
You're the best?
You're the best around, and no one ever's going to let you down.
I used to cover that on the guitar in college.
Bless.
And everyone, like literally when it hit, everyone would be like, well, I mean, you're just 7 years old again.
Young Hearts Die Young,
100%.
Cruel Summer.
Do I respect that answer?
I'm going with the Karate Kid.
I respect that answer. All right, you are going to go on a 30-day juice cleanse, which is not going to happen. What's your last meal that you eat before that starts? And it could be anything. You can draw from different restaurants. You can cook different things. It doesn't have to be one item. Anything.
I'm going to say my mom's tostadas.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does she make them?
So she does shredded pork, sour cream, tomatoes in her salsa.
Yeah.
So my record is 8.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was that record made?
Actually, a couple years ago, my buddy Seth and I got into a little eating contest. We
got with it?
Yeah, and he stopped at 7, and I hit 8.
You got to.
I needed to
How'd
get
you
the
feel
win.
the next day? Crushed?
No, not bad. Yeah,
not
they're not too bad.
Okay.
I mean, I was definitely stuffed that night,
Yeah.
but yeah, the next day, I wasn't too bad.
And why do you go back to that? Is it the flavor? Is it like childhood memories?
Childhood memories, and then just the salsa she makes. Like, it's just a game changer. Like,
good.
You're just like, oh my God.
Green or red?
Red.
Red.
And then, like around the holidays, she does pozole.
Yeah. I love
with
pozole.
tostadas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely don't have 8 and then a bowl, but
Totally.
like I'll have like 4.
Yeah.
So I'd have to pick Mom's tostadas.
I mean, I'd have to throw Jack in the Box tacos in there for me, at least as a component.
Oh God.
There'd be a portion, right? Whether it's dessert or an appetizer, there had to be 2
The
of
Jack in
those.
the Box tacos.
We had
great.
talks about. I remember that was one of the first things we bonded on.
Yeah.
Like I said something, you looked at me,
Yeah.
you're like, "You eat Jack in the Box tacos?" I go, "Damn right I do."
Yeah.
All right, last one, and then we'll go into some other questions. So you can live without working in any city in the world for 6 months. Where would it be and why?
If I could go somewhere and just have some fun, I think I'd probably. Sophia and I went to Italy last year.
Where'd you go in Italy?
We did Rome for a day, and then we went to Sicily, and then came back to Capri.
Where's Capri? I know Sicily's south, and so
yeah,
is Rome.
it's southern Italy still.
Okay.
It's right across the Amalfi.
Yeah.
We did we ended our trip in the Amalfi, but I would have to pick Capri. That place was
Magical.
Like,
Same with northern Italy as well. We went
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
There's some, but you get that water down there, right? That clear water.
The clear water, like it was just amazing. The food, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on an island.
Yeah.
But like the hotel we stayed at, owned by 3 brothers, it's called La Minerva. Like, just the nicest staff. Once again, the food was great. Like,
What'd you eat when you're down there? Like, what were some of the favorite?
just their pastas and
Yeah.
I had like a lobster ravioli at that hotel. Top 3 dishes I've ever had in my life.
What type of sauce on it?
It was a white sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, I have pictures in my phone. Like, the chef was just amazing.
Isn't it crazy with Italian food too? So we did for our honeymoon, we did Italy, France, and if I would have taken it back, I wouldn't even gone to France. Right? Like Paris was cool for a day.
Yes.
We were there for like 5 or 6, and it was a big city. But Italy, like you go out to these dinners and you don't feel terrible afterwards.
No.
You don't feel terrible the next day.
No.
If I go to an Italian restaurant here
Yes.
and really get after it, like I'm hungover the next day.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say. I never felt that way. Everything just felt so fresh.
Yeah.
So every night I would do, because I don't drink or whatever. So I would have a Coke with a lemon, a little mini Coke with a lemon.
Yeah.
We'd have our dishes, our appetizers. Then, like I might have like a non-alcoholic beer or whatever if they had it. If not, no big deal.
Yeah.
But then every night, dessert, the pasta, appetizers, and my Coke. And just the next day, I just felt fine. And you're walking so much. I'm looking at my phone, by 4 o'clock, I got 18,000 steps.
You're exhausted by the end of those days.
So it's like you're burning it off. But like, like sometimes even with Mexican food at certain places, like you eat and you're just like, oh God, why did I just do that to myself? You know what I mean?
Salt intake.
The
from Mexico.
salt, the oils.
Wake up all thirsty in the middle of the night.
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
The salt, the oils, etc. I never felt like that in Italy.
Yeah, I don't feel like that at El Molino either in Sonoma. Whenever I'm there, their chips. I'll put their chips against anyone's in the country.
The chips and guac.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she went to like, the owner moved to like Oaxaca and learned the cuisine.
Oh no way.
Yeah, she's that into it.
Yeah.
And she's obviously perfected it in my opinion. That's the best place, hands down.
Yeah.
Quixote's really good.
You know what is good?
Yeah.
We go there once a month. Their tacos
they're very
lights out.
In my opinion, advanced. I mean, that's not a taqueria. That's like advanced.
Well, the flavors and like even their pastor.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like they have like really strong and like their tortillas feel fresher. Like they must make them in house.
They're doing good things over there.
Yeah. I hope they do good because
I do the same.
Yeah. Every time I'm in there's like 1 or 2 tables.
I've known the parents of Julio, the owner, since I was a kid. So I wish them the best. They're great.
People need to know about them because I don't feel people even know they're there, and the parking is unique. Even though there's a garage behind, but I feel if people went and tried it, like it'd become part of their repertoire.
I tell everybody about it. I mean, I know like when I first went there, I posted something about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like saying, "Damn, I haven't had something this good in a while."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we hit it as well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Golden State. You're a salesperson at Golden State, one of the top salespeople in Marin, which is a good title to have in this county. What separates Golden State from the competition, just from a company perspective, in your opinion?
So, Golden State as a company, I mean, like I think what separates us from the competition is that we really hyper focus on our customers. Mm-hmm. We're always there for you. for example, like you can call me specifically, and most of the time 6, 7 o'clock at night, my phone's ringing, and we're getting stuff ready for the next day or planning and whatnot. So like customer service, I think we're above the rest. Another thing that stands out to me competition wise is sometimes I deal with customers and, you know, they went somewhere else first and they're looking for like, let's say like some special order cedar. And it's like, oh, well, you know, one of these box stores or one of your competitors, you know, other lumber yards said it might take 2 weeks where I can get it in, you know, 4 or 5 days. So I think our vendors see us as the best and they help us with that. And another thing too is like delivery wise, like we're almost like same day service sometimes. Mm-hmm. So we can get your like deliveries out on the same day.
So just streamline process from them contacting you in the communication to what you have to pricing to getting it to you in a timely manner, which is probably the most important, right? For contractors, because everyone's on a schedule. They're waiting for the next person to be there. So getting there effectively. What component, so I moved to Petaluma in 2009 and I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people from Golden State, right? Just within my friend groups, the people that I became friends with, you know, the Knobmans are from town, the Sherrys.
Yes.
I mean, God, Renee, who works, Brian Leonard, Renee Norman, I mean, Denny Finney, OG Denny Finney from Novato. I played Little League. Yeah. I mean, everyone where I turn, it's someone I know. And it feels as a company, more so than other companies, that there's this, it's like a family there. And they treat you guys so well, and they're so loyal to people who are local. So speak a little bit on that, because it's really important.
As an employee, like Golden State, in my opinion, I've been there for 20 years, is second to none. I'm so thankful that I get to work for the Knobmans and the Sherrys, like, because it's literally, like you just said, it's a family there. Like, and you don't go to Golden State to quit. To move on to something else, you know what I mean? Like in my opinion, there isn't anything else. They take care of you, you know. Like there's room for growth, there's room for opportunity for you. You know, you start out. I started out as a cleanup kid. Yeah. You know, when I was.
What year?
So I just actually got recognized for my 20 years a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So thank you. Yeah. So yeah, 20 years ago in November, I started out as a cleanup kid, you know, stocking the lumber, cleaning up the aisles. And I think I was out there for 3 months, made my way inside, you know, was working in hardware, then got into the front counter and started, you know, like this is before college, before I actually went off to Northridge, you know, I was kind of working the front counter and I'd say having a good time. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wasn't really like career oriented yet. You know 20s. What I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So I moved off to college and did my 2 years at Cal State Northridge and hung out in LA for a couple years. And then, you know, when I came back, same thing. I was, you know, it'll lead into like a further conversation here today, but like I was still kind of having a good time and, you know, finally something clicked. I was given an opportunity and started really focusing on sales and was able to grow from there, you know, and they saw that in me, you know. And
did you see it in yourself in the beginning? Like when you first started and you were doing the lower rung jobs around Golden State, did you see yourself achieving what you've achieved and progressing the way you've progressed?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, 20 years ago, like in my life, you know, I can't really like, I guess I did see it, but like I guess to be honest, maybe like I expected it and it's like, that was the wrong way to look at it. Like
you expected to progress like in a quick manner, but
that's a totally like wrong way to like, to think and tougher. Yeah. Like, you know, and so like I had to grind and, you know, I had to, you know, work. I'm glad I had to work hard for stuff. You know what I mean? Like when I was back then immature and dumb, you know, whatnot, like I just expected things to happen. I'm like, oh, you don't gotta work that hard. You know, it's sales or whatever. And it's like, no, it's not. Like,
when did that hit you? How far into the job did you kind of wake up, I guess?
I woke up, you know, I was early 30s. I'm like, okay, now, you know, like, Rob and Jessica, they're like, they gave me an opportunity. They're like, hey, we want you to grow out of the front counter.
Sure.
Like start taking on some accounts.
Yeah.
Start, and start managing, start building some of these relationships,
Yeah.
Everybody knows you and stuff. And so, yeah, I started like, taking it more seriously and, started, writing down goals for myself. Like I want to do this month. I want to hit this budget this month. And it just started to come together, and
how are you when you set a goal? When you hit a goal, you're always happy. How are you personally when you don't hit a goal? What's your?
I get mad. I get super disappointed in myself.
Do you?
Yeah.
Overly?
Yeah, I'm just like, what the hell did I do wrong or whatever?
What's your process then, right? If you set a goal for a month and you don't hit it, what are your next steps or next process in order to achieve that goal the next?
I got to get off my ass more.
That's what
I mean.
is.
I got to
make the calls,
go see people, go through my quotes. Hey, what's going on with this one? Just checking in,
Yeah.
So, there's definitely like a lot to it, and rewinding back to when I first started, I didn't see those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I was distracted by outside noise, stuff going on outside of my life.
Fireball shots.
Yeah.
You gave me my first one, by the way.
The
night I met my wife. You know that?
At Tres Hombres?
No. Yeah. Well, I met her at Trace, and we walked down to
Andreessen's. I remember
and
that.
you were pushing fireball shots on everyone. Yeah. That was the first and probably last one I ever took.
So, like you go on these weekend benders and, like Monday you're just like.
Yeah, that spills into the first day of production.
Yeah. And
totally.
So, and then you're just kind of like, oh, like like my mentality was like, okay, it'll work itself out, and, maybe back then when I was first starting out, I was content with, okay, like I'm getting by, I'm doing good.
I'm surviving, I'm paying the bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, really I can do better. You know what I mean? So it's slowly, it's tough because I guess back then, like my head wasn't fully clear until like I got sober. Then I started really seeing stuff.
Yeah.
But I was still doing well for Golden State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
from a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
But not reaching your potential.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I still feel like I haven't reached my potential.
I feel the same way.
And I'm always going to feel that way.
Yeah,
I'm always going to feel that way.
I don't know if that's a negative. I mean, as long as you don't beat yourself up, I think that's a chip, right, on your shoulder. And that drives you to make the extra calls. And that gets you to where you want to be. Because it's such a tight-knit family there, right? And a lot of those leadership roles are filled by Petaluma people that you've known your whole life. How's that balance, in terms of personal to business? Because they've done it very effectively, right? A lot of times you start bringing in people that you know and you're friends with, that can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
That can go bad, but it hasn't gone wrong there. It's been very effective for their strategy. How do you guys keep that balance between personal and business?
Well, like they're not micromanaging us, you know what I mean? So like, and my mentality too is that like, I was given an opportunity by them to run with it, right?
Yep.
That opportunity was like, hey, you're going to get off of the front counter. You're going to go hustle and you're going to get some new accounts, meet new people. It wasn't, oh, here, Jerry, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like that at all.
Still got to prove yourself.
You got to prove yourself.
Totally.
And I still want to prove myself to them. I want to be the best I could be. I want to be, I guess, back in the day, I was like a Golden State bad boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had like a temper. I've gotten in trouble a couple of times.
Hopefully no Diddy parties.
Yeah, nothing like that. But like, just like I had a temper. My patience was thin.
Yeah.
So they've helped me with that. Like Rob always has said, like, hey, if you're gonna have a moment, call me.
Yeah.
I'll talk you off of the ledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely like. I'm glad they're on our side, and I'm glad they're there because just the help that they give you, the love, the care, they want to see you succeed and they want to see you work hard though. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you want to prove it.
Totally.
Like you want to be like, look at what I'm doing or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of us want to do well for that family. That family has done so much for us.
It's unreal.
And like they do so much for everybody.
In the community.
in the community.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere you look,
Everywhere you look.
sponsorship, every like Little League, you name it. Like they're really
we're
rooted.
there. It's the logo.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been very impressive to watch.
Yeah.
And the more I've gotten to know, you and the other salespeople, and then Rob and all these guys, like there's such a balance in a consistent slow growth there, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just always upwards. It's always upwards. And a lot of that I think can go back to what you say in terms of that family component of being there.
Yeah.
In the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
Like I got a brother and I've got a mom and a dad, and there's been ups and downs, but you never leave.
Yes,
right? That's
exactly.
your family,
Exactly.
right? That's your blood.
Yeah.
And I feel they've created that there.
100%. Like I said, a few minutes ago, like in my opinion, you don't go to Golden State to like look for something better. Like Golden State is the best.
Yeah. It's the North Star.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the North Star. You can start out as a cleanup kid. You can start out in hardware. You can start out at the front counter. And there's going to be, you got to want it.
Yeah.
And they're going to see that, and there's going to be room for you to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your life isn't going to be at just in hardware or as a cleanup kid. I mean,
totally.
If that's what you want,
yeah,
then that's what you're going to get. But if you want to grow and be someone different, a different path there, they're going to help you.
So what are you most proud about in your growth, right? You've been there 20 years. You've talked about the path from how you kind of started to where you are. Like, what are you most proud about?
I mean, I'm
in your trajectory.
I'm proud that I'm, one of the top salesmen there that I've done well on that though. But like lately, what I'm most proud of is that we have a couple of new guys that have jumped ship from some of the box stores, and I see them doing going against the competition and whatnot, and like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm competing against Meade Clark per se.
Yeah.
Let's go get this fucking job.
Yeah.
Like let's take that from them, and so I'm like kind of like mentoring these guys, so that's kind of what I'm proud of, so I can kind of have my Ari Gold moments.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But like,
for sure.
But getting these jobs, and there's nothing greater like right now, them calling me a few days later, like, dude, we're going to ship this job. And it's like,
you got it.
Yeah.
Did you have someone doing that for you? Did you have a mentor that stepped in when you were young?
Yes. So shout out to Don Hayes.
Yeah.
He moved to Tennessee. He got sick of California and packed his bags, and he was at the top of his game. Yeah. He was like, I want to say like number 1 or number 2.
Oh, wow.
But he was just done with California.
So
he brought me up, like from the front counter to when he got into sales, and I was always his go-to guy when he was out.
Yeah.
So I inherited some of his accounts and some of his relationships, and I'm still with those people. He showed me the good and the bad. Like, I mean, he also showed me his temper, and I kind of inherited that too.
Yeah.
I've lost that over the last couple of years.
Have you?
Yeah. 100%.
Working on it?
Still working on it.
Yeah.
But definitely.
What have you done to because that's something that we all have, right? We all have our moments of weakness, right? We all have our moments when we snap. What's something that you do to help if that moment's coming for you and you see it coming because you know what it feels like? What do you do now? Is there steps or techniques?
Yeah, I mean, face to face, I take a deep breath and just be like, just say like, all right, like let's try to get this fixed and give me a few minutes, and if we can get this fixed now, or if I got to call you in a couple hours, I'll get back to you. Same thing on the phone. Take a deep breath and just be like, you know what? Let me call you back.
Totally.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
But let me just call you back, and then I'll go talk to like Danny. Danny Delacentina, my boss or whatever. Great guy.
Yeah.
And he kind of talks me off the ledge because I'll storm into his office and be like, this is wrong. And like, he's like, calm down, like look at it. Let's look at this and see what we can do. Or he'll take it from there.
Yeah.
But
you've learned to work on it.
I've learned to work on it.
Yeah.
I've learned to take a step back and just in my head, like it's not worth it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's
never
not worth
is.
getting this. Yeah, it never is.
So that kind of leads well into this path of sobriety, which I'm really interested in learning more about. You told me about it, I think 2 years?
I'll be 3 years sober this January.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
And I remember when it first was passed along by you, and I don't think we got into it or dug into it But I'm really, I guess, interested in what was the shift? Like, how did the shift come along? Like, what did you recognize to first make the decision? And then how was the journey been from that point?
So first off, like I'm going to, you know, your platform, you know, maybe a lot of people know me and a lot of people don't, but like I'll share that when I was a teenager, I struggled with addiction. Mm-hmm. I smoked a lot of dope. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about marijuana, but like harder stuff. Yeah. And I was involved with like a very wrong crowd, getting into like lots of trouble, doing a lot of bad things. And then finally, like when I turned 18, you know, let's just say that I saw some things that I shouldn't have seen, and I came home and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? I had already like not graduated with my class. Like I wasn't even in school at the time. I was like, I dropped out. And I remember like sitting there, like I was up for like a couple of days, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're better than this, you know? And, you know, go back to like Rob and Chris and Seth, you know, like I was always friends with those guys. Mm-hmm. And when I started going out, you know, going down the wrong path, they were like, dude, Jerry, like, what are you doing? You know, I played soccer with these guys. I played sports, saw them at school, and I just went down the wrong street. So all that stuff started kind of, you know, like things started getting into perspective, and I stopped. I just cold turkey stopped.
All the way back then?
Back then, stopped doing
the hard stuff.
The hard stuff.
But kept with
drinking
and
going to raves and
sure.
doing, you know, whatever.
Yeah, doing what people at raves do.
Yeah. Yeah. But as far as like smoking drugs, you know, I stopped.
That was done.
But you know, 3 years ago almost, let's just say that like
when you're in your 40s, right, at this point, right?
Yeah, because I'm about to be 45 in February.
Yeah, so you're 42.
So
married already.
Married.
Yep.
Let's just say like I kind of went like in a state of depression. I was sad about how some things were going on in life. Mm-hmm. I was in a dark place. Yeah. And I was never like an alcoholic. Like I was never like like come home and drink or whatever.
You didn't need it to function.
No. Yeah. No. My problem was that let's say you and I go to Brewster's after this for a beer. I can't just have one beer. Yeah. I got to like, let's keep this thing going.
Let's go. Yeah.
And that was my downfall. So
why do you think that was there? Was that a numbing effect on how you were feeling in life?
Yeah. So it was like
a self-medication?
7 weekends of like going on a Friday to Sunday bender. Yeah. And, you know, my wife and I went to Vegas, same thing. And then, you know, just a bender. Yeah. You know, and then finally, I went on a boys trip and just had like the last day, just drank a lot and just kind of had like a meltdown. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I woke up Monday and everybody was normal. Like, oh yeah, you were good. You know, like I love the guys for that, but I wasn't good. Yeah. And I just remember I just said, you know what? I'm done. Like my body just told me like
that moment,
you're like, dude, you're fucking done.
Yeah.
And, you know, like it was causing some tension in my personal relationships with some people and stuff. And, you know, it wasn't working anymore, you know? And like I said, that Monday, it was a Monday morning. I'm like, I'm done. And we're at the airport getting ready to fly back, and it's raining down south. It's cold. Yeah. I'm in my pajama shorts and a t-shirt. Yeah. Cause the anxiety of coming home.
Sweating through. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, almost going crazy on the plane. And one of my buddies like, chill. Like, and I'm like, dude, I can't fucking sit still. Yeah. Like I'm just done. They're like, you know, don't worry about it. Like, and so I remember coming home and like Sophia was pretty annoyed with me. Yeah. And she hadn't talked to me that day. And I just told her, I said,
had she brought anything up to you previous to this moment? Had there been any conversations?
We had some talks, and she had showed her frustration. Yeah. She's like, you know, like, where are you at? Like, what's going on with you, you know? And I wasn't sharing. Yeah. You know, I wasn't being very communicative. And with anyone. You know, like I was in a dark spot.
Yeah.
I was in a real dark spot. And, you know, she was frustrated with me that day. And I remember I came home and she was working and she was in a Zoom or something. She's like, I'll be out in a minute. And I was just on the couch and I just said, like, I'm done. And
so making that decision's a big moment, but did you set a strategy of how you're going to keep on that path? Because that's the hard idea to me, right?
Yeah.
Is like, okay, I can make a decision on Monday.
Yeah.
But what happens on next Friday?
Exactly.
When your buddy asks you to Brewster.
So I knew in my heart that, okay, I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, like, Jerry, she's like, you know, like, I'm not saying you need to stop, but like, dude, like, have 2 beers. But I know I can't.
Yeah.
So we sat down and I just said, you know, like, I think I'm going to call a therapist, schedule an appointment. So I got myself into therapy.
It's a courageous move. A lot of people wouldn't do.
I think
a lot of guys don't.
I think everybody should do therapy.
I
think everybody should, in my opinion, everyone should do therapy. We all have some kind of a demon living inside us, in my opinion. So I got with a therapist, made an appointment for you know, later that week. And then, so this is at the end of January and like Lent was coming. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to stay sober for Lent.
Yeah. Good Catholic boy.
Yeah. Got into therapy, stayed sober through Lent.
Yeah.
Golden State had a work trip coming up to Nashville,
which is the biggest test.
Yeah.
Ever.
So got through Nashville and just kind of the rest is history. You know what I mean? Like lost my urge, you know, like to, you know, I know I could have a ginger ale or a soda water and keep up with you guys. You know what I mean? And so, there's been other moments where I go on trips or whatever. And, you know, the next year's golf trip was a test and it was fine.
Those are the biggest tests, is those trips.
Yeah.
When you're detached from town and everyone's partying and having fun. Yeah.
And
what do you do in those moments? Like mentally, like what do you, like if there's a point of frustration, or I remember I used to bartend, right? And when I bartend, in my 20s, I wouldn't drink and I would just be insanely annoyed by drunks by the end of the night. Yeah. Like what do you do? Do you take off early? Do you separate yourself, or you just hang and I
just hang with the boys, That's you know. Great. I mean, those are my boys, you know, so it's like I'm not going to get judgmental. Yeah. I have gone to other events where, you know, someone's, you know, faded and sloppy and I'm just like, dude, get away from me. You know what I mean? That's definitely happened.
Sure.
But, you know, with the people, when I'm around the people I love and the people I want to be around, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all good. You know, like I can get through it because I want to be around those people. You know what I mean? And those are the people that make me happy and stuff. So, you know, I went to, Sophia and I went to Vegas with some friends for their anniversary, and we went and saw Zed. Yeah. And that was like, okay, that was like the ultimate test. Totally. And I will not lie to you. Yeah. Probably one of the funnest nights of my life.
That's great to hear.
Stayed out till 4 a.m.
Just fed on the energy still.
Fed on the energy, had a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Had a Budweiser Zero.
Yeah.
And I looked down at my phone or my watch. Yeah. I got like 30,000 steps at the end of the night.
No way.
Yeah.
It felt great the next day.
Well, I was like hungover, like tired.
Yeah.
But then the next day I was fine. Yeah. And like I said, you know, like I'll have non-alcoholic drinks with my friends. You know, I'll get a non-alcoholic beer or one of those Lagunitas hoppy daytimes that don't have alcohol in them. And like, you know, I'll socialize, and sometimes I have more fun than my friends, you know? So it's all good. I think it's the best decision I've ever made in my life for myself.
How have you improved because of it? From like a health component, from a patience component, from all the things, like what is improved?
So like, you know, when I was talking about work or whatever, and I used to be a total hothead. I used to like snap. My patience was thin.
Just like reactionary?
Yes.
Like if something comes, just like
fight or flight. You know what I mean? And it's cost me some accounts. It's cost me some you know, I've had some fallouts.
Yeah.
Since I've gotten sober and, you know, I started doing therapy, it made my mind more clear.
Yeah.
It made me more patient. It made me take that deep breath before I do say something stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel that, it's all kind of intertwined and helped me for the better. It's just made me a better person. I'm not a good person when I'm drinking, or the aftermath of drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not a good person.
How have you come back to some of those relationships that were destroyed within that time period and tried to repair them? Like, has there been any reflection of being like, hey, I was in this certain component in part of my life that I don't even know who that person is anymore.
Yeah.
And these relationships were destroyed. Like, is that part of therapy or like recovery where you're going back and trying to amending maybe, or were none personal relationships? They were just like business situations.
In business relationships, I've definitely had some, fallouts from the past or whatever. And I see him around the store, and it's nothing personal at this point.
Sure.
We say hi to one another, and it's fine. I'm not begging for them to come back to me, and they're happy with whoever they want to be with or whatever.
Yeah.
Getting sober gave me some clarity. I did have like a couple of friends like that, personal friends that I'm no longer friends with. We're cordial.
Yeah.
And, we'll just leave it at that. But I've also gained, here's the story.
Yeah.
A guy that we hated each other in high school. Like, rival neighborhoods, despised each other. He and I are now friends.
Yeah.
I did some work in my backyard, and I reached out to him. And I'm like, I'm going to give this a shot.
Yeah.
Because you go back. This is someone that I thought about up until then.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Disdain for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did it ever get to this, know? And I remember he pulls up to give me a bid, and like he jumps out and hugs me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucking weird.
Ah, it's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like,
what a rewarding experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we worked together on a couple things, and I remember like when he left, I like gave him a hug, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what this fucking means to me.
Totally.
And, then later on we talked, and I just said like, I'm sorry for whatever I did, for the stupid shit that I did to you, and same thing back or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we're not best friends, you know what I mean? But like we're good. And like, that just goes to show like, you get these different thoughts when you're thinking more clear. So yeah, there's been good, and like, there's been some fallouts, but like, I'm happy where my life is now. You know what I mean?
You're moving forward.
Yes.
What would your suggestion be to anyone out there listening, like on the fence, right? Someone who, and I'm not talking about someone who's waking up and drinking vodka first thing in the morning, right? That's an extreme case. That's a different scenario. But someone who alcohol plays too much of a part in their life, and they're not optimizing their life. They're not getting the best out of their life.
Yeah.
And that kind of sounds like your situation.
Yes.
It wasn't an optimized life. You made the choice, and now you're seeing a huge progression. What would you say to them as a first step of just, making that lifestyle change, I guess?
I guess I would just say like, take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, what do you want out of life? Like, are you content?
Yeah.
Are you in a bad spot? Like, what do you want out of life? I guess I would say. I would also say, take it day by day. Don't drink for a week. Mm-hmm. Try 1 week, then go for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And I would honestly say, like, try talking to somebody, because, for me, like therapy, my therapist gave me like an outside perspective, and like, you got to dig deep.
Yeah.
You gotta like want it, and so she showed me like, she kind of showed me and like asked me these questions like, well, what do you want out of this? And help me realize like, this isn't me.
So therapy is a good first step.
I think so.
And when you go to therapy, is that something where you're just getting things off your chest and getting a different perspective, or are you setting goals within those sessions of things to work on, or both?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I go back to high school when I was doing, bad stuff and smoking dope and whatever. Like, I grew up different than a lot of people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I saw some, I've been through some stuff, and so we talk about that, and then, maybe how that basically transformed me into some of the stuff that I was, getting into as an adult,
Just
right?
the self-medication
Right?
component
Yeah,
of
exactly,
trying to
right?
forget.
Like, to me, it's not normal that I was still blacking out in my 40s, right?
Yeah.
Black out in your 20s.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then it's a party. In 40s,
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're waking up and like, hey, dude, I'm sorry about last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
hey, babe, I'm sorry. I'm
Going through your memories, like,
Yeah.
did I do anything wrong?
Yes.
I remember that in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
Right?
did what I said,
So when it's getting into your 40s, that shit ain't normal no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, like it's just a feeling that I just didn't want to have anymore. You know what I mean? I'm like, I was so done with it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad,
Totally.
So
Now, is part of that, like, you met your current wife a little bit later in life, as I did, right?
Yes.
Like, I didn't meet my wife till I was 34, 35. I'm pretty set in my ways, as a human being.
shout out to you, CrossFit 38.
Yeah.
Back squat rock.
Yeah.
Back squat rack.
You did meet her at the back squat rack.
Yeah.
And it's turned into a marriage, and we'll go into what's
Yes.
coming next, which is going to be a baby boy.
Yes.
But how important has she been in
Oh my God.
both the support through this period of your life, but also kind of transforming you when you were already a grown adult?
Yes.
And you already were kind of set in your ways. Like, how has she come in and kind of assisted you to reach where you are today with your goals and your business and your health? And
So, when I met Sophia, I was 33. She was 23.
yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to be single for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to be a bachelor like
Might
I
be
was
forever.
Might be forever is what I'm trying to say. I met Soph. I remember you calling me like on a Saturday like, "Bro, I think you should go for Sophia." And she was already kind of on my radar, but like I approached her. She needed, she needed a little bit of help on that back squat. And, the rest is history now. But Sophia's. I'm very lucky to have her as my wife. She's been like my backbone
and pretty grounded emotionally. Like whenever I've ever been around her, she's not really hot and cold. At least to me.
Yeah,
right?
she's
a stabilizer.
Yes, and she's been my backbone, my rock. I'll be honest with you. At times I've put her through hell.
Oh, it's relationships. Yeah.
Marriage isn't easy. And so we've had our peaks, we've had our valleys.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's my person. You know what I mean? That's who I want to, have my strongest relationship with, and support her as much as she supported me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, she could have said peace, because the early signs of me were there.
Yeah.
But she stuck with me. She supported me. She had those conversations with me, like, dude, like you did this last night, or you gotta, like, she never said you need to quit.
You gotta look in the mirror a little bit.
Look in the mirror a little bit, and you have that same fallback, like eventually she might get tired and be like, but luckily it never got like that, and she supported me. And then when I made my decision, she supported me even more. You know what I mean? And she's just like, hey, are you sure you want to quit? Like, maybe do it this way. She helped me write down the formula to get where I need to be, and so
she had to go through some ups and downs, and you had to deal with a Raiders fan in-house for 10 years. It's almost even.
Yeah.
It's almost comparable.
Yeah.
So you guys are bringing in to this world, I'm going to say Sophie is, but you're going to be there too as Seth, a baby boy in a month and a half.
Yeah.
How's your thought process been just kind of mentally preparing for that, right? Because that was a big, like, I didn't have I'm 47 and Gunnar, so I didn't have my first till I was 40, almost 40, 39, 40. So it was a big, like, mental process for me, because I'm so structured and my life's this way and our days were this way and we eat at this times and we do, that's that's how I function, right? And when you have a kid, it's off the table, dude.
Yeah.
For the most part. You can manage things, but it's just, there's a lot of variables you don't know that are coming, which are great variables, but it throws you off your game a little bit.
Yes.
How are you kind of mentally preparing for that? And you two as a couple, and then you personally for that baby boy to come?
You know, everybody says you're never prepared.
You're really not. Yeah.
You know, so we're trying to prepare. Excuse me. We're just trying to prepare as much as we can and be ready for him. You know, obviously, you know, our life's going to change and he's going to come first.
Yeah.
First and foremost. But we're just going to go with the flow. I mean, I guess, I don't know. We'll just have to see when he gets here and stuff.
That's a good way to go about it.
We're super excited. We're super thankful. You know, I know like I do jiu-jitsu 3 to 4 days a week. I know that's probably going to take a step back, you know, but we have like, you know, fitness is big for both of us.
Yeah.
We have a garage gym, so we'll figure it out and I'll train when I train and
you can integrate them.
yes.
Too. I mean, the early days are hard, right?
Yeah.
But once they start getting functional, like I was just telling someone in the office this morning, like my 5-year-old Dax came down on my workout yesterday and just did his own workout.
Yeah.
And his workout consisted of fucking terrible sit-ups, like no reps, every single one of them, jumping onto a band and then jumping up and down 10 times and then getting on a rower, right? But like, what an insane thing to share.
Yes.
Like my heart, right, was like overflowing in
Yeah.
that moment of being like, this kid is coming on his own. He sees me do it as an
Yes.
example, which is the most important thing.
Exactly.
And now he's just coming on his own to do it. And it's like, that's my dream.
No, I mean, I literally cannot wait, dude. Like I see, you know, you telling me that right now. I see Molly with her kids doing street parking. Like it's
always.
amazing.
Yeah.
I know, you know, when my kid gets old enough, like I'm gonna show him jujitsu. You know,
Totally.
like it might not be great jujitsu, but I'm gonna show him.
Good enough.
But you know, Sophia's gonna show him her strength on what she could do with the barbell and stuff. And you know, like I cannot wait for those moments. You know, like I'm pinching myself, and you know, she's pinching herself at home too. You know, we're very excited to bring him in here.
What are a couple attributes or qualities that you have that you want to see in your son? And by the way, like I had 100 and maybe 10 of them showed up. You know what I mean? You never know who they're going to be and what they're going to be like. But what are a couple things that you would like to translate or would like to teach early on for them?
Drive.
Okay.
Drive, sense of humor.
Yeah.
Teach them kindness. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Sophia's strength.
Yeah.
And like will and all that stuff. But I definitely like, you know, like it's a crazy world out there. I want to show them like kindness and, you know, to be respectful and stuff, you know, and not to be angry like how I was when I was a young kid and teen, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Just angry at life.
And he's going to have a different life.
Yes.
You know, than you did.
My parents did the best they could.
And they're great people.
I love them dearly.
And still very close. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's actually over there.
He does the best.
Yeah. My dad's over there at the house right now painting with Sophia or whatever. So, you know, they did the best they could.
Sure. Right.
So, and I'm going to just try to show our little guy, you know, just even better, you know.
Is there any qualities that you possess that you're going to work really hard on that they don't pass along? Is there anything? Because there was like things that I thought about when my kid was coming, and one of mine is patience, right? Like I'm not the most patient person.
Yeah.
Like I've never been. And so it was something like I really tried to work on, because that's probably the biggest quality you have to have as a parent.
Yeah.
Is to sit back and breathe and be like, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
They're learning, even if it's the 50th time that you told them,
Yeah.
right? And because comes a point you're just like, don't touch it again. You know what I mean? Like it's like on number 50. Like, is there anything that you've thought of like going into of like, you know, I'm really going to work on this a little bit harder so it translates and this boy doesn't pick that up?
I would say my patience.
Yeah.
I would definitely say my patience, because I still do get impatient like about a lot of things or whatever. So, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I'm going to be learning as I go. You know what I mean? Like, you know, feeling him out, you know, like he's going to be feeling me out, I'm sure, even that young, you know, like, so it's going to be work in progress. But yeah, I mean, I just, you know what I mean? I want to just teach my son to just be like, just a good person, you know, and that starts with me being a good person, you know, showing him that way, you know, and learn from there.
Yeah. I never give anyone advice on being a parent, because every kid is different. Every parenting style is different. But one thing that I would have changed with my first is to have literally zero expectation
Yeah.
of who follow them.
Yeah.
Don't let them follow me, right? And with my first, I was like, dude, this kid's going to be a shortstop for the Giants. This kid's going to be this and this and that. And he is who he is.
Yeah.
And whether that's going to be his path or it's not, and it probably won't be, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think me going back to those early days, I would have been right. I mean, I figured it 6 months to a year in, and especially when they start moving around and picking up a bat or doing that. But I think I would have just totally backed off and done suggestions rather than like, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want my little guy to be like some kind of an athlete, you know what I mean? But it's like, try everything, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
what we're doing. Everything.
I'm never going to stop doing jiu-jitsu. I'm going to keep it up probably till my body can't go anymore. Yeah. So I hope he sees that in me. Says, hey, Dad, I want to do jiu-jitsu with you. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That's really the goal, you know? So
we had our kids in it. They're on a little break. So our kids did it for 7 months.
Okay.
And then they, soccer, basketball, golf, piano, they're in everything.
Yeah.
So you have to every once in a while. They get burnt.
Yes.
Because if they're going straight from jiu-jitsu to basketball to home and have to do homework at 5, it's like they're coming. But dude, it was an amazing experience to watch.
Yeah.
The progression, the confidence, even rolling around with them at home, like watching their little techniques of getting their leg out and switching guard and the whole thing. Yeah. So
no, it's super
cool. We went over to his team, Michael Stratton, who's great with
Michael
kids.
Stratton is the man with the kids.
Dude, you know what's great about him? He doesn't reward the result. Yeah. He rewards the path. Yeah. If you're working hard, if you're listening, it's not like you pushed a kid out of a square or you gotta, you switch guard, whatever. It's like he rewards like the progression. And a lot of coaches don't do that. Yeah. They reward making a basket or hitting a home run rather than, holy God, you worked so hard for 2 weeks to hit that home run. Yes. So he is very good at what he does.
Mike's great. I got nothing bad to say. I started at Esteem. Yeah. And then, moved just with my work schedule and stuff, Black Sheep and Fairfax.
How's that going? You're still 3 days a week, 2 days a week?
Yeah, I still try to get in there 3 days a week is my goal.
How's your body holding up in that?
I'm actually gonna start doing hot yoga because my body is
welcome to your 40s.
Yeah, it's hard, and we have some young animals in there that you're just like you scrap with them and you're just like, why did I just even go through that? You know what I mean? Like but we also got a good group of 40-year-old guys too that we try to like. If it makes any sense, we try to kill each other but not hurt each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's definitely great. I'm super thankful for jiu-jitsu being in my life. It helped me a lot with like my sobriety. Like I actually got better at jiu-jitsu once I got sober.
Are you still competing? You competed for a while.
Yeah, I did a lot of competitions for a while.
Tell me about that, because that's I'm always impressed with adults who later in life find something, work at it, and then compete. Because when you compete, especially a sport like that, when it's one-on-one, there's no team, it's you win, you lose, and it's all you. Like, tell me about like mentally and like physically the lead up to those competitions, like how rewarding. I mean, CrossFit did that for me. Yes. Right? That was a very similar thing. Yeah. You're leading up to the open and you're trying, like how's that been for you as an adult?
Well, I haven't competed. Like my last competition was like last year and I finally won a gold medal.
Congrats.
Like, thank you.
What weight class?
Lightweight. 168. So I have to be actually 164 because my gi weighs 4 pounds.
Got it. Is that a hard weight to hit for you? Like, did you have to like diet going into it and like?
Well, yeah, I've gotten a little heftier for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I would honestly be better at I think what's it called? It's not rooster weight. It's
the next level up in weight class.
The next level down. 154 would be.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Wolf, the owner of Black Sheep, always told me, like, if you got to 154s, I think you could really do some damage. Yeah. But, like, my body doesn't.
It's hard.
It's hard. Older, especially at our age. Like, it's not easy anymore. But
you don't want to watch what you eat every single day. I mean, that's not where we are in life.
But competing to me is, like, it's super fun, like, because you're going out there against somebody that you don't know. Yeah. And you're testing out your jiu-jitsu at the end of the day. But with that being said, I think if you lose in one of those jiu-jitsu tournaments, like, it doesn't dictate what you're doing on the mats at your gym or whatever. You just like you just got beat, you know, or you didn't figure it out mentally while you're out there. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird feeling because really, I mean, it's a fight with no punches and no kicks. But like this last time I competed, out of all the times, I was finally able to think.
Yeah.
Which was weird. Like
just clearly, like in the moment or going up to it.
No, in the moment. In the match, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go
like react. He's doing this. I'm doing that. Yeah,
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go, shin to shin. I'm gonna pull into an X. I'm gonna sweep.
That's a big breakthrough.
Big breakthrough.
Yeah.
Because other times, I mean, I've adrenaline dumped where like I can't feel my arms.
Yeah.
And I just get tapped out. Just things have gone bad in other times, or I've just gassed out in the final.
Yeah.
Like I think I've gotten like 4 silvers, a few bronzes, and then finally that gold.
Nice, buddy.
But there's definitely, like, I did Masters Worlds in 2019, and I got so intimidated. That was in Vegas, that I just didn't even want to be out there. Like, I gave up before I even went out there and just got.
What was it intimidating? Was it because it was Worlds?
Yes.
Just going to Vegas.
Yeah.
This is the the competition.
It's Masters Worlds or whatever, and there's 50 mats out there, and back in 2019, I was still a blue belt, but just with a shitty half guard. That's all I had.
Yeah.
So I pulled a bad guard and just got smashed, and then just was like so down and out.
Yeah. What would you have done different in that moment, looking back?
Well,
could you have done anything different?
Back then, probably not.
Yeah.
No. I just didn't really have a game.
Yeah.
And now, I definitely like. What was it? A couple years ago, I was training for Masters Worlds, and we were running a drill at the gym where it was a takedown or guard pull, and the guy I was going with pulled guard but fell on my foot and fractured it. So I was out for that. Yeah. Then I got COVID the next year.
Yeah.
So I still want to get back and do that again.
That's a goal.
That's a goal for sure.
Yeah.
And there's 2 people that I've specifically like lost to in IBJ is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. There's 2 people that I've lost to that I feel that I can definitely beat.
And they're still competing?
Yeah, for sure.
In your weight class?
In my weight class.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go up against them, down the road again.
How's the mental preparation going into that? Because like for me, especially later on in life, like when I was a kid competing and playing sports, I just reacted. I showed up, I reacted, I practiced hard, and then I played. But as I got older in life, and I can only compare it to CrossFit, like it really becomes a mental game where I would almost like night before those competitions, like I lost sleep.
Yeah.
Right. And so I had to work on that of like pushing things out of my head and just like putting in the work and showing up. Did you have any component like that leading up those bigger competitions?
So for those bigger competitions, like the IBJ ones, like I've kind of learned to like, you need to get a good warm up. Like you need to go in there, like you need to find somebody in the bullpen, like in the warm ups, and like do like a round before you go out and compete, because you're warm. Your body's gonna flow better. You're gonna think more clear. Sleeping's never. I mean, I get a good night's sleep usually or whatever. But I think the main thing, honestly, is the warm up.
Yeah. Get
a good warm up. Hopefully, one of your teammates is competing with you that day, and like you guys can get a little scrap in before you go out there and it's go time. And then when it's go time, just try to think, and like I said, now this last competition, it all came together finally.
Do you ever visualize before a competition?
Oh,
Do you sit down and like go through the match, move by move?
Like this is what I want to do. Like there's to get to gold, there's gonna be, 3 fights. So it's like I don't want to dump in my first fight to where I don't have anything in that second fight.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to like think through all that stuff. You know what I mean? So. At North American Masters a few years back, I won my first match, and it was pretty boring, but I knew that I just needed to get through that match. Well, then the second guy, that's one of the guys I want to get back to, I made a mistake, and he took my back and choked me.
Yeah.
But I was ready to just go all in. Like I felt my body felt good to go all in and really go 100% and get in a scrap with him. But literally by not putting my hand somewhere, he was able to climb my back and choke me.
What a puzzle it is.
It's,
I mean, it's such a thinking game. I mean, that's why I've never done it, right? But I have so much, I've watched enough of it, and like to watch like a Mikey Musumeci, is that his name?
Yeah.
who, if you saw him on the street,
Yeah.
right, you'd be like, what? Like, this guy's talking shit to me?
Yeah.
You know? And it's all technique,
Yes.
thought, chess, 3 steps
It
ahead.
is chess. Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it really gives people who maybe wouldn't have a dominating athletic career in something a chance to compete at the highest level because it's not just brute strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by that component of it.
It's so funny. Like Wolf, the owner of Black Sheep, like him and I are always the first round in training. He always calls it warms me up or whatever.
And he's a real deal.
Yeah, he won adult worlds.
Yeah.
Which is, like in comparison to winning the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
He won it at purple belt, which in my opinion, adult purple belt is like the raddest belt. Like those kids go.
Yeah.
Adult black belt's pretty sick too, obviously, but purple belt, it's like 7 minutes of just action.
Yeah.
So he won worlds at purple belt.
Oh wow.
But he's, slim and slender, probably like $145, $150, and just literally can just do whatever he wants to anybody.
Is mobility a big part of that?
Yeah.
It is, huh? Yeah.
He's always yelling at me to
yeah.
stretch or whatever.
That's hard, man.
Yeah.
But those, like, the matches that I've watched, the positions they get their arms in,
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. There's Danny, the other owner, same thing, super mobile guy.
Yeah.
But like he's like a middleweight. I mean, he's just a beast, but can literally do whatever he wants off his back to you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is amazing.
Do you have a goal of when you're going to try to do another competition, or are you going to wait for the kid to come, kind of see how that settles in?
Yeah, I'm going to see how that settles in. Maybe I think, like whenever the time comes that I do become a purple belt.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'll compete at purple.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's
That's a
two
fun division.
That guy that took my back at North American Masters.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. We're in our 40s.
Yeah.
And he acts like he just won worlds, like for adults, and like rips his gi off.
You're so pissed.
Oh my god! Dude. I was like,
Come on.
Yeah, like,
you're
really.
Like, it'll happen again.
Yeah,
whether it's 2 or 5 years in the road.
And so, like, I remember, like, I had to wait because I had podiumed for bronze.
Yeah.
And the final, he ate the guy up in the final, which I feel like that should have been me in the final.
Yeah. So
we get to the podium, and this guy's still like, yeah, bro, like, I feel like you were the final, but then, like, I got through you, and I was like, I'm fucking, this is it, dude. I didn't come to lose.
You're just taking mental notes.
And I'm just like, dude, like I'm taking sales calls in the fucking bullpen, bro. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but, like, you're a muppet, you know? And so that's one person I'd like to compete against again. So
well, that's a good chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
To get you back at some point, get you motivated.
And then the following year, I go up against this guy, and he comes up to me, and he's like, hey, man, we're fighting in the first fight. I'm like, oh, cool. And I was like, whatever, it's all good. And he's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a lumber salesman back home and whatever. I'm like, how about you? He's like, well, I'm a cop, and, like, I used to do CrossFit, and, like, I just kind of got bored with competing. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm in for it right now. Like, this guy was a fucking block, dude.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all because I ended up pulling guard and not getting my foot to his chest.
Yeah.
He was able to pick me up, basically, and just have his way with me. And then I saw stars.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy, though. But, like, I would just like to, just for the competition, just to go up against him again. You know what I mean? Because it was all because I didn't get to, like, a half lasso. Yeah. He was just able to just smash
That's
me.
a good motivating component,
but just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he won that. He won that
and
day.
you were stoked for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
It's all attitude on it.
And you see him, he wins. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. All right, so last question. 30 years from now, and I ask this to everyone, that's the last question of the podcast, or let's say 25, because you're close to my age. When you're in your 70s, looking back on your life, what's going to define success to you as a human being?
I listen to Adam's podcast.
I don't listen to that. Is that a good one?
Adam Del Castillo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you that was a different podcast.
And he said he basically said, like, everything that I've thought of as well is that, like, a strong marriage with Sophia still, like we're going strong. I've taught my kid or kids, you never know. We've taught them the right way, and we have a strong relationship with them. And hopefully, they're having a successful life as well. I do hope that my little one, man, is a Niners fan in 30 years, and not a Raiders.
Oh yeah,
and not a Raiders. It's the biggest argument in the house right now.
I bet.
I do hope that he's a Niners fan. But also, you know, successful to me, like that we're still traveling, that we're still doing fun things. I hope I'm freaking retired in 30 years or getting close getting close to retirement. But yeah, just living just a good, healthy lifestyle with my wife and my boy, and you know, doing the stuff we love and being around the people we love. You know, I hope that I still have the same friend group, that we're still going on that same golf trip, that I'm still telling the Vince Vaughn story from LA, one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah.
That I'm still telling that same story, you know, because I still get the same, like, dude, tell it again, you know. So
Well, relationships then.
Yeah,
strong relationships. Well, from the outside looking in, I'll say I'm unbelievably proud in just the time that I've known you, both in your success in business, but definitely this sobriety path, man. I couldn't be happier for you, and then obviously Sophia as well, and then being prepped and healthy and ready for this baby boy, and having the kid, man. I couldn't be happy for you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming in and spending some time, and best of luck with everything with that boy in another month. When's he due?
December 22nd.
Oh, I hope he comes a little early so you get Christmas with him.
Yeah.
What is it, the 25th, 22nd?
Yeah, I think we should be, like, hopefully, knock on wood, out of the home by then.
He'll be here when he needs to be.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, Mike.